What if I told you that the crop sensor era is officially over? That the line between hobbyist gear and professional wildlife rigs has just been permanently erased? For years, Canon shooters have been waiting for a true successor to the legendary 7D Mark II, a camera that doesn't just compete with full frame, but actually outperforms it in the areas that matter most: reach, speed, and precision. Well, the wait is finished. Today on TechVibe, we are diving deep into the absolute beast that is the Canon EOS R7 Mark II. This isn't just a minor refresh. We are talking about a total internal overhaul, a brand new sensor architecture, and features pulled straight from the $6,000 Flagship R1. If you've been thinking about upgrading your gear in 2026, you need to stop everything and watch this until the very last second, because the pricing and sensor leaks we just received changed the entire value proposition of the RF mount. Let's get straight to the heart of the matter: the sensor. For the longest time, the original R7 was criticized for its rolling shutter. If you were shooting a bird in flight or a racing car, the background would often look like jello. Canon heard you. The R7 Mark II is reportedly rocking a groundbreaking 39-megapixel stacked BSI CMOS sensor. Now, let that sink in for a moment. Stacked is the magic word here. By stacking the sensor layers, the readout speed becomes astronomical. We're looking at speeds that rival the R5 Mark II, effectively killing rolling shutter once and for all. Imagine being able to use an electronic shutter at 40 frames per second without any distortion. That is exactly what this camera is designed to do. Whether you're a sports photographer catching a split-second goal or a wildlife enthusiast tracking a falcon, this sensor is a game-changer. And at 39 megapixels, the detail is dense enough that you can crop in even further, giving your 400mm lens the effective reach of a 640mm without losing that tack-sharp resolution. But a fast sensor is useless if the autofocus can't keep up. This is where things get truly pro. Sources are confirming that the R7 Mark II will inherit the DIGIC Accelerator chip. This is the same coprocessor found in the Flagship R1 and R5 Mark II. Why does this matter for a crop camera? Because it unlocks next-gen action priority autofocus. The camera won't just track a face, it will understand the mechanics of the sport you're shooting. It can recognize the movement of a ball, the posture of a player, and even predict where the action is moving next. It's like having a professional focus puller living inside your viewfinder. For wildlife shooters, the animal detection has been expanded to include even more species with a specific focus on eye tracking for small birds and insects. If it moves, the R7 Mark II will lock onto it before you even realize it's in the frame. And now, let's talk about the body and ergonomics, because this is where the TechVibe community has been the most vocal. The original R7 had that quirky wheel around the joystick design. Love it or hate it, it was different. However, the leaks for the Mark II suggest a return to form. We are seeing a slightly larger, more robust chassis that feels much closer to the R6 Mark III. It's beefier, weather-sealed to a professional standard, and most importantly, it features a dedicated joystick and the traditional rear control dial. This is a clear signal from Canon. They are positioning this as a professional tool, not just an enthusiast toy. This larger body also serves a functional purpose: heat dissipation. With the new high-speed internals, the R7 Mark II needs to breathe. This extra mass allows for much better thermal management, which leads us directly into the video specs that are going to make filmmakers very, very happy. Are you ready for 8K in an APS-C body? The rumors are heating up, and it looks like the 39MP sensor provides exactly the right resolution for 8K UHD recording. While it might be limited to 30p to avoid stepping on the R5's toes, the fact that we're getting 8K in this segment is mind-blowing. But the real sweet spot is the 4K. We're looking at 4K 120p uncropped. No more massive crops when you want that slow-motion cinematic look. Add in Canon Log 2 and Log 3, 10-bit 4:2:2 internal recording, and wait for it, the potential for 12-bit raw video out over HDMI. This turns the R7 Mark II into a legitimate B-cam for high-end cinema productions or a powerhouse A-cam for high-end Y/O YouTubers and documentary filmmakers. The inclusion of the new LPE6P battery pack, the same one used in the R5 Mark II, ensures that you have the power overhead to run these high bitrate modes without the camera giving up on you halfway through a shoot. One of the biggest leaks that has the community divided is the storage situation. To handle 40 frames per second bursts and 8K video, you need speed. The R7 Mark II is expected to move away from dual SD cards. Instead, rumors suggest a hybrid setup, one CF Express Type B slot and one UHS-2 SD slot. This is the perfect compromise. You get the blazing fast speeds required for professional work on the CF Express side, while keeping the SD slot for easy backups or more affordable storage during casual shoots. This change alone proves that Canon is no longer holding back its APS-C line to protect its full-frame sales. They want to dominate the market, and they're doing it by giving us the hardware we actually asked for. Let's pivot to the stabilized performance. The in-body image stabilization (IBIS) on the original was already good, but the Mark II is pushing it to 8.5 stops of coordinated control. If you're a street photographer who loves shooting handheld at blue hour, or a videographer who hates carrying a gimbal, this is your dream come true. You can effectively shoot half-second exposures handheld and get sharp results. Combined with the improved high ISO performance of the BSI sensor, the R7 Mark II is looking like a low-light king in the crop sensor world. But I know what you're thinking, what's the catch? Every piece of tech has one, and for the R7 Mark II, it's going to be the price. With these flagship-level specs, the stacked sensor, the DIGIC Accelerator, the 8K video, the price is expected to take a significant jump. We are hearing whispers of a launch price between $1,999 and $2,499. That is a lot of money for an APS-C camera, but when you compare it to a full-frame R5 Mark II that costs double, the value starts to make sense. You're getting 90% of the performance for 50% of the price, plus the 1.6x crop factor, which is a massive advantage for reach-limited photographers. So, when can you actually get your hands on one? The FCC filings are already showing up under confidential codes, and industry insiders are pointing toward a major announcement in late May or early June 2026. This aligns perfectly with the summer sports season and the major photography trade shows. If you are a current R7 owner, is it worth the upgrade? If you shoot action, birds, or video, the answer is a resounding yes. The move to a stacked sensor alone is worth the price of admission. It fixes the only real flaw of the original camera and turns it into a professional-grade weapon. As we wrap this up, I want to hear from you. Does the 39MP stacked sensor make you want to skip full frame entirely? Or is the expected $2,000 plus price tag too much for a crop sensor? Drop a comment below. I read every single one, and I want to know if you think Canon has finally reclaimed the APS-C crown from Fujifilm and Sony. If you found this breakdown helpful, do me a massive favor, hit that like button and subscribe to TechVibe. We have a massive year of tech leaks coming up, including the rumored RFS prime lenses that Canon is building specifically for this new high-res sensor. You don't want to miss that. Before you go, check out our recent video on the top 5 RF lenses you should be buying for wildlife in 2026. It's the perfect companion to this R7 Mark II deep dive. Thank you for hanging out with us until the end. Your support is what keeps this channel independent and fueled by real tech passion. I'm your host from TechVibe, and I will see you in the next one. Stay tuned, stay tech savvy, and keep shooting.